Hey guys, I'm in my usual spot, the kids' playground. I don't know, it's easy to record here. It's somewhere for me to sit. But I wanted to talk about Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. I had an LSD trip and a DMT trip on top of that, and it's been like a few months since I've tripped, so it was definitely something that I was itching to do. It's been a while since I've seen hyperspace. But it was actually like a really interesting experience because I'll start from the beginning. Sorry, I had to burp. Drinking my French vanilla from Tim Hortons. Um, the Let's start it off where I got the acid. Basically, I went to visit a friend in Kitchener, and I was playing with his piano a little bit, and then he said, "Yeah, I have some Grateful Dead uh, acid tabs." So these ones I've tried before, and they were like the most potent ones that he's had, and it's like the bears ones. So anytime he has that, I know it's like fucking bomb. So he sold me about 8 tabs for $50, which is pretty good for me at least. So I was happy with that, and so once I got home, I think it was like probably the 2 days later. Wasn't all that busy on that Sunday. I wanted to take a break from all my practicing and shit like that, so I decided to take 2 tabs. So at first, I thought they didn't work. Like I always think that they don't work because it's been like my experience. Probably half the time that I buy acid, they're duds for whatever reason. But when I get it from this guy, it's usually 100%. But it's hard to really know if something's legit if it's just on a piece of paper and it has like no taste. So I was lying in my bed trying to wait for it to come on, and I figure out if I don't fall asleep, then I know it's legit. So I was starting to not feel sleepy, so I knew, okay, this is real. It's not a dud piece. This is like 9 o'clock or maybe like 10 o'clock. So my trip, it was a pretty intense tab. It was nothing out of the usual. Like I had faces and stuff in my like open-eyed visuals and like patterning in the closed side. It wasn't terribly visual. Nothing. I've definitely had more visual LSD trips, but a lot of that is just my specific sort of mind state. Like I haven't tripped in months, so I had no tolerance. But still, like you can't always guarantee like a hyper visual trip. But a little bit after the peak, I decided that I was going to try smoking DMT. And the thing is that anytime I take mushrooms or LSD and then try to smoke DMT, I have to do it before the peak. If I do it afterwards, for some strange reason, it just doesn't affect me. Like I'll smoke like a large bowl of DMT and it just won't do anything. Like I won't trip or anything, and that's if it's after the peak. And I don't know why. I've asked people why that happens, but it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I'm after the peak and I'll smoke a bowl in the bong and it will work. It's not very reliable. So I tried anyways. Like I wasn't too far away from the peak, so I thought maybe it might work. So I put 10 milligrams inside my bong and like just put like sandwich weed basically, so it just had something to melt into it. And then I smoked that, and then I had no effect. But that was just 10 milligrams, just to test the waters. Because I do that to see like if I have any change in consciousness, and then I know to be able to I'll be able to know how much to take later. So then I tried the next time, and I put probably at most like 18 milligrams. Like it wasn't much, and then I put that sandwiched with weed. And then when I smoked that, again, like nothing happened. Like I didn't trip. Like I opened my eyes and nothing was going on, and then I closed my eyes and nothing was happening. So I literally felt nothing. And then I was like, okay, well that's shitty. And then what was really strange and what shocked me was that I just sort of I had the idea in my mind to just sort of close my eyes and put myself into like a meditative state. I just like when I say that, I just meant like I closed my eyes and like I kind of just focused my attention into like one point in my head, and then for some reason like this this explosion of patterns started to happening, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I'm breaking through on DMT, and then all of a sudden I literally broke through. Like it felt like I was closing my eyes, and then this door sort of opened with all these patterns and shit like that, and then there was this weird this patterned cube that had it was big on the end over here and big on the end over here, and it kind of went together into like sort of a focal point, and then in the focal point there was like these really complex patterns, and it was sort of twisting like that, and I was out of body. Like I was no longer in my I no longer felt like I was in my chair or anything like that. I felt completely out of body. And then for a second I was like, oh shit, am I going too far? Like I was thinking that I wanted to like snap out of that that trip or whatever, and I thought, you know what, no, like this is what I wanted to experience. I wanted to go into like the deeper sort of hyperspace just to see it a bit, because that's what I like to see it so that I can try to draw it and make art pieces from it. So I decided, I was like, no, I was going to stay and not sort of be intimidated by what was going on. And it was getting really fucking intense. Like it was it was around the same as like a 30 milligram DMT breakthrough. So it was interesting that it only took like 18 milligrams. But I think, I don't know, like I don't even feel like it was the DMT. It felt very liberating, because it felt more like the power of suggestion. Like I smoked the DMT and it didn't work, and then I was like, okay, whatever. So then I waited a bit, and then I just closed my eyes just for shits and giggles, and then I did some sort of meditative focus, and then all of a sudden it just exploded into the DMT breakthrough. I've never had something like that happen to me before. Such a delayed DMT trip. So I don't even think that it was the DMT, to be honest. Like I feel like it was just my LSD trip and the power of suggestion. I somehow got the idea in my head that the DMT does work, and then it just switched on, and then all of a sudden I broke through. And once I got out, I was freaking out. I was like, whoa, I can't believe that happened. Because that shit never happens. Like I love it when, well, I shouldn't say never happens. Like I've had really Twilight Zone level crazy shit happen in DMT. That's why I love it so much. It's like the mystery. I don't know what I'm gonna get. It's like rolling the dice, and just you know, it's so random and so cool like that. But like, I don't know, just that experience, it was really validating for me that my mind is more has more control over my reality than I give it credit for. Like I was upset though, like afterwards, because like I felt like, man, like I wish I can just do that on my own. Like I wish I didn't need to smoke DMT to experience that. And it's funny because, like, you know, we all sort of started taking you know, like weed or trying psychedelics because we wanted to experience what it was like to be like high or whatever. So it wasn't so much of a you know, a soul searching thing for us, more than it was just a mystery thing. Like we wanted to experience something like altered states of consciousness. But it's funny that my pursuits to exploring these things changed from wanting to get high to wanting to seek some sort of spiritual experience. Like it's like when I smoked that DMT and then nothing happened, and then I sort of meditated, and then all of a sudden it did happen. I was like, is this even me wanting to get high, or is this me trying to reach a high level of meditative like a high meditative state of mind? Because like I felt like where I went was where like master meditators take years to try to obtain, or lifetimes to obtain. Like I feel like where I go on the DMT trip is where like those 80-year-old gurus go when they're, you know, deep in trance or whatever, and it just feels like it can throw you there with no meditative experience. It can throw you into the deepest ocean of whatever that place is. And it's funny. It's like it makes you feel like you want to try to find a sort of a better way to experience experience that. Like, I would love to just be able to get to that state through meditation and not have to take any drug, because like I just find it's the ultimate power. When I have that flash and I'm disembodied inside of it, like I feel like incredible power, you know, like it's so inspiring to I think to most people. But that was definitely a really interesting experience. I'm really glad I had that experience.